Attention black folks who are drowning in credit card debt and don't have anything saved, or you don't have enough saved. I want to let you know that there's a good chance that you probably have not been approaching your debt elimination the correct way. And how do I know that? I know that because by the time you pay off all your debt, 9 times out of 10, you're going to still be broke. The only thing that you've accomplished in most cases by paying off your debt is by getting rid of the capital that you could have been investing into a process to make more money, so that you could use the money that your money is making to get you out of debt. Let me say that again. We need to have your money working in a process that's creating more money, so that the money your money is making is the money that you're using to get yourself out of debt. That way, our money is working more efficiently, and by our money working more efficiently, we are saving TIME, which is, guess what? Not something you have the luxury of wasting when you're 40, 45, and 50 years old. So I developed the Freedom Flow strategy for my clients, which is a simplified framework of investing for debt elimination. We are using the power of investing in momentum, high growth stocks to eliminate our debt and also build a bucket of money that we can use for retirement and generational wealth. This is about giving us that extra cushion that we're going to need outside of our job. We don't want all of our money at our job. We need to have wealth outside of our job as well. So let me show you all the Freedom Flow strategy at work. I'm going to show you 2 different clients with 2 different debt loads and 2 different investment amounts. We're going to see how the Freedom Flow strategy is going to help both clients build a significant amount of wealth within 10 years and get them out of debt without them having to add any additional money to their plan.
Using this example, okay, client says, great, Jerry, I can invest $10,000 starting and then $500 a month. So this person is starting from zero. Okay, they're starting from zero. They come to me with $490,000 of debt, and they say that they can invest $10,000 into their investment account and add an additional $500 a month into that account. Now, what I do for my clients, and you will get this if you become a client, we're going to go through this exercise. You're going to tell me how much you can invest. And what's going to happen, we're going to set up that investment account where these numbers that I'm going to show you in a second are actually probably on the low end. So we're really conservative in what we put into this calculator, because we always like to underpromise and overdeliver. So consider the numbers I'm about to show you to be conservative estimates of what we're going to be able to do for this client. So $10,000 going in, $500 a month against a $490,000 total debt balance that we're paying $43.76 a month on. Now watch what happens. Using a 10-year investment period, we only invest for 10 years, okay? 10,000 in, 500 a month. At the end of the 10-year period, we have an investment account balance of $578,000. We started this from zero. What did I say, y'all? This is just 10 years, people. 10 years. And how did we do it? We did it because we invested our money into these high growth companies. We allocated our money into a portfolio of companies, and we allowed that portfolio to compound over a period of 10 years. Now look, at the end of that 10 years, we have a decision to make. If this is you have a decision to make. Do I let this $578,000 to continue to grow? Okay, and then we'll make a decision about our debt, because at the end of this 10 years, okay, we still have $365,000 worth of debt. So we could take all of the everything out of the account that we could to pay this debt off. We could take the 365 out. We probably have only about $100,000 left over after taxes We could do that, but that's not really the most efficient way. The most efficient way will be to let this 578 continue to grow. And guess what would happen? We would still get out of debt, right? We'd have another 12 years until we're completely free of the mortgage, which we see that right here in the calculator. And by then, guess what? We have a total portfolio value of $1,133,803.89, y'all. Remember, y'all, we started this with just $10,000. Y'all excuse my computer. We just started this with $10,000 and $500 a month. And look what we created, $1 million portfolio. And that's not adding anything else to this strategy. Let's not even consider if we were to add maybe our income tax refund to this that we might get every year. All right, so here we have another example using $165,000 of total debt. This is $100,000 mortgage balance, $50,000 Capital One auto loan finance balance, and a $15,000 credit card for which we're paying the minimum monthly payment of $300 a month. So again, we're going to go through this exercise. Client decides how much they want to invest. In this example, we're using $500 a month with no upfront investment. So we're just going to start this with $500 a month. This is a really typical situation for many of my clients who are maybe 60 and above, who might have not a lot of debt, but they also don't have a lot saved in their retirement. So you might have a ton of equity. You're house rich, but you're asset poor. This freedom flow strategy is going to help you build up another bucket of money outside of your retirement at your job. That's going to help you, number one, get yourself out of debt. Number two, beef up your retirement savings. So using the $500 a month going into this freedom flow strategy, which combines debt elimination and investing, we see that at the end of 10 years, this client would have a portfolio balance of $529,000. And they'd still have a mortgage. They have a small mortgage balance of $101,000. But guess what? Do I care about a small mortgage balance of $101,000 when I got $529,000 in an investment account that's earning me dividends and capital gains? See, this is what we wouldn't have if we were to go about debt elimination the way that we normally go about debt elimination, which is just putting the money in the bank, leaving it there, paying on your debt, and you're taking all of your investment capital, throwing it at your debt, whereas you should be taking your investment capital, making it work in an investment account that is earning you a good rate of return so that you can do two things at once with your money. Again, pay off your debt in enough time where you can build enough wealth to beef up that retirement. This client started from zero with $165,000 worth of debt. If they follow this until the end meaning when they're totally financially free, meaning no debt on anything at all, $898,000. By the way, y'all, this client started this with $500 a month. This could be a 60-year-old starting this from $500 a month. This is life. This is a life-changing strategy. This is why we call it the freedom flow strategy instead of the bondage flow strategy. The bondage flow strategy is what we do when we don't have a framework, the freedom flow framework that's going to help us build financial freedom while we're eliminating our debt. And watch this. This investment portfolio can then be shifted into an insurance policy, which is what I teach in my workshop, where we're able to leverage the power of a annuity contract to give us guaranteed lifetime income, as well as the long-term care benefit that's already included without us having to come out of our pocket. But guess what? Even if we do have to come out of our pocket, ladies and gentlemen, we built a $900,000 portfolio from zero. And guess what? This may not even be all your money. You might still have a 401k at your job. So again, everybody, This is the Freedom Flow strategy, how we utilize the power of investing to eliminate our debt and multiply our wealth.
I tell y'all, this Freedom Flow strategy is probably the most exciting and most powerful thing that I presented to my clients. It is by far the most simple and straightforward approach to getting yourself out of debt while you're building wealth. You can't afford to wait until you pay your debt off to start investing, because time is not waiting for you. You got to figure out a way to place your money into a process that is making more money while you're paying off your debt, so that at the end of the debt payment or repayment, you have something to show for it. It does you no good to be debt free, but also asset free. You want to be debt free and you want to have something to show for it. So what I'm going to do now is invite you to register for how to eliminate debt and multiply your wealth with stock investing. Again, this is going to be me breaking down my Freedom Flow strategy, which is something you can start doing right away, okay, to help you start to build wealth outside of your job. And you can start this process with as little as $200 a month, $300 a month, and you could grow that into 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 or more, depending on how much money you put into the program. Now, we at the Black Wealth Company have launched the Freedom Fund Society, which is a program that I created to help my clients implement the Freedom Flow process, which consists of us investing our money into these stocks, these high growth stocks. People are making a killing. There's people walking around worth $100 billion. There's a lot of money out there, folks, that is being made. And with this Freedom Flow strategy and the Freedom Fund Society, we're going to help you multiply your money, and you're going to do it on autopilot. So make sure you register again for either the virtual or in-person How to Eliminate Debt and Multiply Your Wealth with Stock Investing. We'll be having this class both virtually and in person. If you're interested in scheduling an appointment, we do offer both virtual and in-person appointments. We're located conveniently at 1055 Howell Mill Road in West Midtown Atlanta, right on the 9th floor. We are going to be opening registration for the Freedom Fund Society, which is what we're going to be using to help get Black folks out of debt completely, building wealth while they're getting themselves out of debt and having a big bucket of money that we can leave behind. We're leaving wealth behind instead of leaving worries and bills behind and family arguments behind. Again, make sure you register again for the How to Eliminate Debt and Multiply Your Wealth through Stock Investing. I'm looking forward to seeing you all on the webinar or in the in-person class. This is Jerry Gorton, founder and CEO of the Black Wealth Company, where Black Wealth is our business.
Freedom, freedom, freedom with Jerry.